Welcome to the Ballarat Botanical Gardens. This is our 74th Begonia Festival display, although we have had tuberous begonias here at the Botanical Gardens since the 1890s. But this is the power of selective breeding and human intervention to become these big glorious upright begonias. We also have tuberous begonias in our baskets. So they are known as cascade varieties. Here at the gardens, we have about 240 different varieties of tuberous begonias, and we have around 300 different varieties of the non-tuberous begonias. In the conservatory today, we have about 600 tuberous begonias. So each of our baskets have 2 tubers in them, and then it's just 1 tuber per pot in the upright begonias. So we try to get as many of our 240 different varieties into the conservatory as possible, just to give our visitors a really good demonstration of the variety of the different begonias that we have here at the gardens. We do care for our begonias all year round here at the gardens. So after the display, they get taken back to our glass houses just at our nearby nursery. They'll draw all their energy down into their tuber, and they go dormant. And at that point, we tip them out of their pots. The home gardener doesn't have to tip them out of the pots. We do here at the gardens so that we can check the tuber's health. So sometimes there's insect damage or moisture damage, other signs of rot and just a repair we need to make to them. Then we store them over winter in vermiculite in our storeroom. So it's a cool dark room. The biggest threat to the tubers at that stage is moisture. So we put them in the vermiculite to keep them very dry. Each of our begonias also have a little number plate, so a unique identifier. So our database started in 2015, and since then every tuber has its little tag that follows it right through the year. So even though we might have 10 of a particular variety, each of the 10 has different numbers. So that's so that we can keep a track of our tubers. But even though the database only started in 2015, as I said, we've had some begonias here since the 1890s, and a lot of what's in the room today would be derivatives of those original tubers. Tubers can live for decades and continue to flower, but we take cuttings every year to boost our numbers, and basically we choose the strongest, best 10 of any variety. So any spare plants, we are very lucky to be able to donate to other botanical gardens. Daylesford Botanical Gardens, for example, has a lot of our tuberous begonias on display there, and we've also sent them up to Orange Botanical Gardens in New South Wales. We sent them about 88 tubers a couple of years ago. We had some spares of different varieties. So how long do the flowers last? The begonias start flowering in December but we will hold them back until our display here in March, and they'll continue to flower through March, possibly through April, depending on the weather a little bit. It is a long flowering period, so to get the begonias ready for display we remove all flowers, right up until display, and then about 3 weeks before the display we let them go. And that's how we get these really large decorative flowers. We also give them a little liquid potash feed every week for 3 weeks leading up to the festival, so that they are absolutely blooming. We do a bit of breeding here at the gardens as well. So at the end of the display we see which of our plants are throwing pollen, and we breed them with other plants by using our little paintbrush and manually moving the pollen from one flower to another. One point of interest of our 240 varieties of tuberous begonias: only about 6 produce pollen. So it can make for a very limited field of options. They all produce female flowers, but there's only so many that produce pollen on their male flowers. So the decorative flowers you can see on our upright and tuberous begonias are the male flowers, and what we are looking for is the yellow pollen in the center. So we have a bit of fun trying different varieties and different combinations, and we are basically looking for something that's horticulturally different or something special that we haven't already got in the collection. Is it a color we don't have? Is there a particular shape or frill to the leaf? And things like that. Is it a strong, robust plant that we can see propagating and continuing on into the future? So last year we did about a dozen crosses. We do every year, do about a dozen different combinations. Unfortunately last year we didn't find any. We got lots of success, but nothing really caught our eye. So we let those ones go. But 2 years ago we were very lucky, very happy to release 3 new begonias uniquely bred here at the gardens, and they are here in the collection now. We have 3 begonias here, again out of 240 that are scented. So wherever possible we try and crossbreed with those ones because having a fragrance we feel are really special and it's quite unique to our collection. So as I mentioned earlier, after the festival the display will be here for another, at least until Easter, and then we'll see from there, depending on how the plants are doing. Sometimes they start to go into their kind of winter dormancy and start looking a bit tired. So we pull the display out and bring in our chrysanthemums. We do 5 displays here at the gardens, so we are very time-based. But we take our begonias back, we let them take in all their energy into the tuber and then we tip them out and store them. And then we pot them up in spring and they are usually shooting in December. Generally speaking, if we find that the tubers haven't shot by Christmas we give them a little bit longer, but typically the tuber's not going to shoot. It's died, so that's a shame. But we have a pretty good success rate. We take care of the tubers about 10 months of the year. We are doing something to them. And then we just have a short break in that dormancy when they are in the storeroom and then off they go again. We have 4 full-time staff in our nursery. That's our glasshouses. It's not actually a very big team. It's a lot of man-hours, so the process where we tip the tubers out and check them and store them takes weeks. Ideally, a good season is 5 weeks. For people, full-time, for 5 weeks. And that's a good job to get them cleaned and put on the laptop, updated and put away. We are the custodians of these really fabulous plants. They are very interesting and unique. So they are very unique and obviously our visitors love them. We had over 60,000 visitors just through the doors here at the gardens for our Begonia festival in a 3-day period. So annually we have about 500,000 visitors to the garden per year seeing our different displays. So next year's our 75th Begonia festival, so we are hoping for a really big one. Lots of cool props and water features, and once again our begonias will be out to play. Hope you continue watching this video, see more of our upright and cascade basket varieties. Click like and thanks for watching, see you all next year for our 75th Begonia festival.